Hey guys, welcome back. Today's topic is the role of macro and micronutrients from the chapter Mineral Nutrition of Class 11 Biology under NEET topics. Here, essential elements perform many functions. They participate in permeability of cell membranes, electron transport systems, enzymatic activity, maintenance of osmotic concentration of cell sap, buffering action, act as major constituents of macronutrients and coenzymes. So these are the different functions performed by the essential elements in plants. Okay? Here, the buffering action is nothing but the ability of the buffer solution to resist the changes in the pH. Okay? Resist changes in pH. Okay? So, this is by addition of small amount of an acid or a base. So, these are the different functions performed by the essential elements. Okay? Now, let's discuss what are these macronutrients and micronutrients. Here, macro, from this word we can understand large. Okay? Micro, from this word we can understand, okay, in small amounts. Okay, now? So here, those nutrients that are present in plant tissues in large amounts, they are called macronutrients. I repeat this once again. Those nutrients which are present in plant tissues in large amounts, they are called macronutrients, and they are in excess of 10 millimoles per kg of dry matter. Okay? If the nutrient is in excess of 10 millimole per kg of dry matter, then that is macronutrient. And here micronutrients are needed in very small amounts, less than 10 millimole per kg of dry matter. Okay? I repeat this once again. These nutrients are needed in very small amounts, that is less than 10 millimole per kg of dry matter. Okay? So this is the difference between macronutrients and micronutrients. Now, if we look here the examples: carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur. All these, they are present in plant tissues in large amounts. Okay? These are called macronutrients. Among these all, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, they are mainly obtained from carbon dioxide and water. And the remaining, these remaining nutrients, they are absorbed from the soil as mineral nutrients. Okay, now moving to the micronutrients, here iron, manganese, molybdenum, zinc, copper, boron, chlorine, nickel. These are the micronutrients. They are required in less than 10 millimoles per kg of dry matter. Okay, so this is the difference between macronutrients and micronutrients. Now let's discuss what is the role of these nutrients in detail in plants. Okay, now? Yes. Here, first of all, let's discuss about nitrogen. Okay, now? Nitrogen is required by plants in greatest amount. Okay, now? It is required by plants in greatest amount. Okay? And it is absorbed mainly as nitrate through, though some are also taken up as nitrite and ammonium ion. Okay, now? So here mainly absorbed as nitrate. Okay, important. Now, this nitrogen is required by all parts of the plant, particularly metabolically active cells. Okay, so all the metabolically active cells, they need nitrogen in large amounts. Okay, now nitrogen is major constituent of proteins, nucleic acids, vitamins and hormones. Okay, now I repeat this once again. Nitrogen is the major constituent of proteins, nucleic acids, vitamins and hormones. So this is the important role played by nitrogen in plants. Okay, now moving to one more macronutrient, that is phosphorus. Okay, now here phosphorus is required for all phosphorylation reactions. What is phosphorylation reaction? Addition of phosphate is phosphorylation. If we speak about, for example, adenosine diphosphate, okay, and this is inorganic phosphate, it forms ATP. When this inorganic phosphate is added to adenosine diphosphate, ATP is formed. This is one of the example of phosphorylation reaction. So phosphorus is required for all phosphorylation reactions. Okay, and it is a constituent of cell membrane. In cell membrane, phospholipids are present. Okay, now so in these phospholipids, okay, now phosphorus is present. So it is a constituent of cell membrane. Certain proteins, all nucleic acids, okay, and nucleotides, these are containing phosphorus. Okay, now phosphorus is absorbed by the plants from soil in the form of phosphate ions, either as H2PO4 minus or HPO4 minus 2. So important for exams. Okay, now how is phosphorus absorbed? Either as H2PO4 minus or HPO4 2 minus. This is how phosphorus is absorbed. Okay, now here moving to one more macronutrient, that is potassium. It is absorbed as K plus ions. Okay, and it helps to maintain anion cation balance in cells. Okay, very important for exams. Which macronutrient helps to maintain anion cation balance in cells? Answer is potassium. It is absorbed as K plus ions. Okay, now it is required in more abundant quantities in the meristematic tissues, buds, leaves, root tips. In all these parts of the plant, this potassium is needed in abundant quantities. Okay, now protein synthesis requires potassium. Opening and closing of stomata needs potassium, and activation of enzymes and in the maintenance of turgidity of the cells, potassium is needed. Okay, for all these purposes, I repeat once again, for protein synthesis, for opening and closing of stomata, and for activation of enzymes and in the maintenance of turgidity of cells, potassium is needed. So it is macronutrient. Okay, now moving to the next, one more macronutrient, calcium. It is absorbed as calcium ions, Ca2 plus. Okay, here during cell division, it is used in the synthesis of cell wall. Okay, particularly as calcium pectate in the middle lamella. Middle lamella contains calcium pectate. So obviously during cell division, it is used in the synthesis of cell wall. Okay, now it is also needed during the formation of mitotic spindle. Okay, so spindle fibers are formed during mitosis, okay, which play important role in separation of the chromosomal fragments and the chromosomes. Okay, so here for the formation of mitotic spindle, calcium is needed. Okay, for formation of mitotic spindle. Now it is involved in the normal functioning of the cell membranes and for activities, okay, of certain enzymes, it is needed. Okay, calcium is required by meristematic, okay, and differentiating tissues. Okay, it is required by meristematic and differentiating, okay, tissues. And it, one important aspect regarding this calcium is it accumulates, okay, in older leaves. Okay, so calcium accumulates in older leaves. Okay, now these are the important aspects regarding calcium. Okay, so during cell division, it is used in the synthesis of cell wall, particularly as calcium pectate. It is needed for the formation of mitotic spindle, and also it is involved in the normal functioning of the cell membrane and activity of certain enzymes. Okay, now moving to the next. After this, one more here, magnesium. This is also a macronutrient. Okay, it is absorbed as Mg2+. Okay, magnesium activates the enzymes of respiration and photosynthesis. Important. Okay, I repeat this once again. Magnesium activates the enzymes of respiration and photosynthesis. Okay, are involved in the synthesis of DNA and RNA. Okay, these magnesium ions, they are involved in the synthesis of DNA and RNA. And also magnesium is a constituent of the ring structure of chlorophyll. Very important. Okay, I repeat this once again. Magnesium is a constituent of the ring structure of chlorophyll and helps to maintain ribosome structure. Also very important. Okay, ribosome structure is maintained by this magnesium ion. Okay, now moving to the next. After this, sulfur, also a macronutrient. Okay, plants obtain sulfur in the form of sulfate, SO4 2- ions. Okay, sulfur is present in 2 amino acids. Very important. These amino acids are cysteine and methionine. So what are the sulfur containing amino acids? The answer is cysteine and methionine. Okay, it is the main constituent of several coenzymes, vitamins, okay, like thiamine, biotin, coenzyme A, all these, okay, they contain, okay, sulfur and also ferridoxin. Okay, so these are the components that contain sulfur. Okay, and the amino acids cysteine and methionine contain sulfur. Okay, now up to now we have discussed about macronutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur. Okay, these all are macronutrients. They are present in plant tissues in large amounts. Okay, now moving to the next here. After this, iron. Iron is absorbed as Fe3+. Okay, reversibly oxidized from Fe2+ to Fe3+ during electron transfer. Okay, so during electron transfer, it is reversibly oxidized from Fe2+ to Fe3+. Okay, and iron is an important constituent of proteins involved in the transfer of electrons. Important. Okay, it is an important constituent of proteins involved in the transfer of electrons. Okay, it activates catalase enzyme and is essential for the formation of chlorophyll. Okay, I repeat this once again. Iron activates catalase enzyme and it is essential for the formation of chlorophyll. Okay, now after this, let's proceed with the next. Here, manganese. It is absorbed as Mn2+. Okay, manganese is absorbed as Mn2+. Okay, it activates many enzymes involved in photosynthesis, respiration, and nitrogen metabolism. Important. I repeat this once again. Manganese activates many enzymes that are involved in photosynthesis, respiration, and nitrogen metabolism. And the best defined function of manganese is in splitting of water to liberate oxygen during photosynthesis. This is what we call photolysis. Okay, so during photolysis, which nutrient is required? The answer is manganese. Okay, manganese is required in splitting of water to liberate oxygen during photosynthesis. Now, after this, zinc. plants obtain zinc as Zn2 plus ions. Okay, it activates various enzymes, especially carboxylases. Okay, and it is also needed in the synthesis of oxygen. Very important. So, which element, which nutrient is required for the synthesis of oxygen? Okay, zinc is needed for the synthesis of oxygens. Okay, now after this, next, copper. Copper is absorbed as cupric ions. Okay, so this is how copper is absorbed. It is essential for the overall metabolism in plants. Okay, for overall metabolism, copper is essential. Like iron, it is associated with certain enzymes involved in redox reactions and is reversibly oxidized from Cu plus to Cu2 plus. Okay, so as cupric ions, it is absorbed from the soil. Okay, now after this, boron. It is absorbed as BO3 3 minus or B4O7 2 minus. So this is how boron is absorbed. Okay, BO3 3 minus or B4O7 2 minus. Okay, boron is required for uptake and utilization of calcium. Okay, it is required for membrane functioning, pollen germination, cell elongation, cell differentiation, and carbohydrate translocation. So here one important aspect is, for pollen germination, which nutrient is required? Answer is boron. Okay, so during pollen germination, boron is required. Remember. Now after this, molybdenum. Plants obtain it in the form of molybdate ions. Okay, MoO2 2 minus. MoO2 2 minus. Molybdate ions. Okay, it is a component of several enzymes. Okay, including nitrogenase, nitrate reductase, and both of which participate in nitrogen metabolism. So molybdenum is required in the functioning of these enzymes, nitrogenase and nitrate reductase, which are participating in nitrogen metabolism. So this is about molybdenum. And finally, chlorine. Chlorine is absorbed in the form of chloride anion, that is Cl minus. Okay, chlorine helps in determining the solute. Okay, here chlorine helps in determining the solute concentration and anion cation balance in cells. Okay, important. Okay, anion cation balance in the cells is maintained by chloride ions, and also earlier we discussed potassium ions. Okay, now it is essential for the water splitting reaction in photosynthesis. Earlier also we discussed about manganese. Here one more, chlorine. Okay, so chloride is required for the water splitting reaction in photosynthesis, that is what we call photolysis. Okay, a reaction that leads to oxygen evolution. Okay, so these are the different macronutrients, micronutrients, and their important role in plants. Okay, now based on the discussion that we had, let's discuss few important questions that are previously asked in NEET exams. Okay, so here the first previously asked NEET question is, match the following concerning essential elements and their functions in plants and select the correct option. Okay, this question was asked in NEET 2020. Okay, one side the essential elements are given, and the other side in the second column their functions are given. Okay, we have to match these options now. Okay, iron. Okay, what are the options? Let's check. Here, photolysis of water. No, it is not associated with photolysis of water. Pollen germination. No, this is not associated with pollen germination. Required for chlorophyll biosynthesis. Okay, yes, this is required for chlorophyll biosynthesis. So this A can be matched with third option in column 2. Okay, so iron is required for chlorophyll biosynthesis. Now zinc, let's check. Photolysis of water, no, this is not involved in photolysis of water. Pollen germination, no, this is not involved in pollen germination. IAA biosynthesis, here IAA is oxin. Okay, just now we discussed during the session oxin synthesis, so zinc is involved in oxin synthesis. Okay, so this is matched with fourth option in column 2. Okay, now boron, boron is associated, here it is essential for pollen germination. And finally manganese is required for, okay, photolysis of water. So from this we can now find out which one is the most appropriate option. Okay, A is 3 among the given options, 3 is here. Okay, B is 4, C is 2 and D is 1. Okay, so the most appropriate option is option 3. Okay, now moving to the next question. Which of the following element is responsible for maintaining turgor in cells, for maintaining turgidity of the cells? Okay, which element is needed? This question was asked in NEET 2018. Okay, now let's check the options. Potassium, sodium, magnesium, calcium. Among the given options, okay, here potassium is required for maintaining turgidity in cells. So potassium is required for maintaining turgidity of cells. Okay, so first option is the most appropriate option. Okay, now moving to the next question. Minerals known to be required in large amounts for plant growth include, large amounts means we have to find out macronutrients. Okay, and here let's check. This question was asked in NEET 2015. Okay, here phosphorus, it is, yes, it is a macronutrient. Potassium is right, sulfur is right, calcium is right. So first option can be the more appropriate option, but let's check the other options too. Okay, here second option is wrong because here copper and manganese, okay, they are not macronutrients. Okay, if we check the third option, potassium, phosphorus, selenium, boron, these are not macronutrients. Okay, if we check the other, magnesium, sulfur, iron, zinc. Okay, so here, okay, iron, zinc, these are not, okay, macronutrient. So the most appropriate option, that is phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, calcium, these are macronutrients. They are required by plants in large amounts. Okay, so this is all about today's session. I'll be back with more live sessions regarding the NEET topics. Okay, if you are new to my channel, subscribe. Okay, if you liked it, share it with your friends. Have a great day. Thank you all.